people of Reddit who survive on less than 8 hours of sleep. How? I remember one time in my life where I woke up feeling fully refreshed, and I've never forgot that moment ever since. Naps make me feel even more tired than I was before sleeping, but there was this one nap one time that I woke up feeling the most refreshed I've ever been after sleeping in my whole life. Never been able to replicate it. I usually get somewhere between 5 to 7 hours sleep. There is a constant feeling of tiredness, but at some point you just learn to ignore it, or get used to it and carry on. So agree with you. I got caught up in my career for a while, and was getting 3 to 4 hours a night at most. Really messed up my sleep patterns. When I finally slowed down, and could get 6 to 7, it felt so much better. I wonder how I would feel if I got 8. Nicotine, caffeine and hate. I found my people. Adapt, improvise, overcome, slowly die of exhaustion. This is why I had a heart attack at 32. I'm not overweight, non-diabetic. My ventricular arteries were stretched out, so thin due to stress and exhaustion. It's in my post history. This is not the way. The shit I deal with now, because of that, has ruined my body. Research revealed that around 3% of people are what is known as sleepless elite, meaning they can function perfectly normally on as little as 3 to 5 hours of sleep. It's an everyday superpower that I wish I had. Sadly, my mother seems to have the gene, but not me. I'm whatever the opposite of this is. I require like 9 to 10 hours of sleep just to not be a zombie. I got 6 hours of sleep the other day, and I was very literally nodding off at work while standing up. I hate it. I'm tired constantly because 10 hours of sleep is so unreasonable. Edit. Hey, I think I might have sleep apnea. Guys lol, but for real, I really appreciate everyone's tips, advice, and personal stories. There's a lot here that I never thought to look into before. As soon as it's financially viable for me to do so, I will see a doctor and get a sleep study done. Thank you for showing so much concern and care for an internet stranger. 3. Team 6 to 7 hours here. It's totally normal for some people, lol. Went to bed 1 hour earlier 2 days back. The reaction of my body? Wake up 1 hour earlier and now you can't sleep anymore. Have fun. I have a co-worker who is a cleaner in a psych hospital who is 50, only works nights, and says she only sleeps 3 or 4 hours a day. Don't know how she does it. My boss is like this. He's around 50, goes to bed at 10 to 11 p.m., wakes up at 2 to 3 a.m., starts working. Everyone in the company knows that is mandatory to check your email right at the start of the day, because the boss sends stuff during the night. Somehow he's the most energetic guy I've ever met. Hate myself. Decide I'm going to bed earlier tonight. Fail. Repeat. It's cute when we think we are going to go to bed earlier, right? I'm constantly in a state of delusion. You just stop caring about your health. That's how, right? That's a problem for a future me. Fuck that guy. Sunlight is like caffeine in my veins. Can I borrow some of that mutant DNA you have? I can sleep 4 minutes or 40 hours, and I'm dead every morning regardless. Caffeine. Caffeine doesn't even do it for me anymore. The simple fear to fail in society. I'm just functioning. Edit. Thanks for gold. I barely function anymore as it's taken such a huge toll on me, and I'm tired all of the time. Sometimes I have trouble reading a short text, because my brain just can't handle basic learning skills anymore. I can't remember the last time I had 8 hours of sleep in the last 7 years, and the constant thought of never having enough sleep is killing my mental health. 6 or 7 is good enough for me. I feel fine with that much sleep. I used to sleep 9 hours a day. Whenever I sleep 6 or 7, I feel like a zombie. When you work 12-hour shifts with an hour commute, you don't have much of a choice. That leaves you 9 to 10 hours to sleep. Management, probably. Depression. Nothing beats that crippling anxiety not letting you sleep until 1:37, and then acting as an alarm clock at 4:12. No choice. Failed task, sleep 8th hour. Fail reason, not young eno. You don't even notice. No caffeine needed, no sugar needed. I never get into REM, so I don't really ever get that same rested feeling others get. Been like this for years and body is just used to it. I envy people who can sleep a straight 8 hours. That sounds magical. Same here. I have no idea what being rested feels like, and I'm nearly 40. It's always been this way for me. Better question is, who out there is actually getting 8 hours of sleep? I haven't gotten 8 hours of sleep since high school started forcing me to get up at 6:30 and be at school at 7:05. Not well. The constant thought of never having enough sleep is killing my mental health. 6 to 7 is good. When I sleep more than that I actually have a headache and feel groggy for the rest of the day. Hello friend. The only problem I suffer from due to lack of sleep is violent mood swings. Fuck you. Suffering. I work 7 to 330 full time, but I have other hobbies and I feel like if I got a full 8/9 hours of sleep a day I'd spend less time on what I actually wanna do and more time at work, so I have a baby so I don't have a choice. But how, you ask? Only just. You will look back on this time and realize some things you said or did were 100% because of sleep deprivation. My wife and I had twins that did not sleep well. We were lucky to get 3 hours in uninterrupted sleep and 6 hours of total sleep was the absolute most we would ever get. We were probably averaging closer to getting 4.5 hours total and that was 3 1.5-hour naps. There was one point where I spilled a small amount of jelly on the floor, looked at it audibly, said I can't, and cried while cleaning it up. Looking back it's funny, but in the moment cleaning, that jelly almost mentally broke my sleep-deprived brain. I just wanted a PB&J sandwich and to sit down, and the extra effort of bending over to wipe up jelly was enough to make me cry. Hatred and the need to pay bills. Not everyone needs that amount of sleep daily. Correct. I need 12. 7 hours is more than enough for me. Sleeping 8 hours gives me a horrible headache. I also drink lots of coffee. Pro tip: the headache comes from your caffeine addiction. Step 1. Ignore all the cries for help your body releases. Step 2. There is no step 2. Coffee. Lots of coffee and depression keeps you awake with your mind racing with anxiety. It's hilarious that you think I have a fucking choice. A mixture of necessity, far too many energy drinks, mental health problems coming out of my arsenal, and just general pure fucking spite. Just banging my head against the wall to keep myself awake every day. I do this neat little trick, where I borrow a few hours from the end of my life every time I don't get enough sleep. Been doing it for years and I don't see any potential problems or downsides. How? Go to sleep and wake up before you've slept for 8 hours. Pretty simple. I function well on 6 hours. Anything more and I'm exhausted all day.